Alright, well this is just a quick video basically describing how I used a PC power supply to provide 12 volt power to a charger that I'm using for my remote control airplane. Basically this charger needed plus 12 volts and well over 5 amps, and these PC power supplies are great in that they can shoot a lot of current through them. I think this one in particular is showing plus 20 amps. It can supply, this is a 400 watt power supply, so on the plus 12 rail it's saying it can put out 20 amps, which is more than enough to drive this charger that I have. So like most people, I just went to YouTube or Google and did a search on PC power supply to plus 12 volts or for a LiPo charger, and found some documentation. What a lot of guys do is they crimp off the wires inside the power supply and then mount their charging spots here. But I just found it a bit too crowded to work in this box like that, so I had this breakout box that I'd used for some previous hobby stuff, and in fact it already had the LED and the power switch on it, so that came in handy. And basically I just grouped the wires together. The yellow is your plus 12, the red is your plus 5, the orange 3.3 volts, the black is obviously ground. I did take a separate plus 12 feed, plus 5 volt feed off the red wire, and I ran it over to this here, which is a hard drive cooler that I had sitting around. So I actually mounted this in a sort of a hard drive caddy that I had, and it seems to stay in there pretty well. And the fans draw the heat away, and it's a heat sink, so I just set the charger on top of that to try to keep it running cool. Mind you, it doesn't really run that hot anyways, but it doesn't hurt to have it. So in terms of this box, I'm just going to pop the lid here, and basically it's just the standard connections that everybody else has made. The yellow is your plus 12, so I grouped all those wires together. Now potentially you could be pushing a lot of current through here, so I grouped all the wires together and sort of crimped them onto a blade connector and attached it at the back here. Same thing with the ground. The black wires all come in here, and then the red wires, the plus 5, similarly they go through a blade connector and connect up to the front here. For the power switch, to get the supply working, because it's an ATX power supply, you do need to switch one of the wires to get it to come on and stay on. In my case it was the green wire, so green and black, you can either just splice them together, but I put them on a switch so I can control it. And to show that I have power, I have an LED mounted here, and I'm using the gray wire and the black wire with a 330 ohm resistor to show the power. Now, one other thing that they recommend you do is you take the plus 5 and ground, and you use a 10 ohm 10 watt resistor to create some load on the 5 volt line, which is supposed to sort of bump up the 12 volt line. So that's what I did there. It's 10 ohm 10 watt resistor. I put some thermal paste underneath it because this case happened to have an aluminum lid on it. I thought, well, it's a perfect heatsink. So that's what I did, is I fixed it right on there with a zip tie, and it works pretty well. And then obviously I connect up my plus 12 and my ground, run them through my IQCell 6 charger here. So basically I just give the power switch, my LED lights come on, the fan's blowing here. My fan is working underneath my LiPo charger here, and I'm getting power on there, which I then feed to my batteries. And it works really well. I've been using it a few times, works really well for me. What I also did at the time as well was I knocked together this shelf. I had some spare ceramic tiles left, and with the potential fire and explosion potential with these LiPo batteries, I thought, it doesn't hurt to build a ceramic shelf to sit all this stuff on. So that's what I knocked together to hold all of this. Like I said, it works really well. It was dead cheap. I mean, this power supply was sitting around, so that wasn't a big deal, and I had this box together, so it was just a case of splicing everything together, buying a few connectors, and we were good to go. So works great. Hopefully if this helps somebody out, it's even better. Take care.